The 3 quotes that changed my life. Sometimes, all it takes is a single sentence to shift your entire perspective. Life doesn't always offer grand epiphanies. Occasionally, it whispers truths through quiet words at the right moment. For me, it wasn't a big event, a dramatic loss, or a loud realization that changed everything. It was 3 simple quotes. Each one found me at a crossroads, resonated deeply, and helped me step forward with clarity I didn't know I was missing. Change rarely happens all at once. It often unfolds in fragments, a moment of stillness, a stray thought, a powerful quote. Over the past few years, I've struggled, stumbled, and searched for meaning in places that offered none. But somehow, 3 quotes reached me when I needed them most. They didn't fix everything overnight, but they lit a path through the fog. This story isn't just about inspiration, it's about transformation. These are the 3 quotes that didn't just inspire me, they truly changed my life. A few years ago, I hit a low point. Everything on the outside seemed fine. I had a stable job, a decent apartment, and a handful of people who cared about me. But inside, I was completely lost. Every day felt like I was just checking boxes. Wake up, work, sleep, repeat. I was drained, unmotivated, and quietly battling anxiety I didn't know how to name. I started questioning everything. Was I enough? Was I doing anything meaningful? Why did success feel so empty? Why did failure feel so defining? My self-worth became entangled in how much I achieved, or didn't. I compared myself to people on social media, people at work, even strangers at coffee shops who looked like they had it all together. The more I looked outward, the more I lost sight of myself. That's when I started journaling and reading, not to escape, but to understand. I didn't expect answers, but I found echoes of my own struggle in the words of others. Slowly, 3 quotes stood out. They weren't grand revelations, but they had a strange power. They felt like someone finally understood what I couldn't explain. And more importantly, they showed me there was a way forward, even if I had to rebuild everything from the inside out. The 3 quotes that changed my life. Quote 1. Comparison is the thief of joy. Theodore Roosevelt, this quote struck a nerve. I realized how much time I'd spent measuring my life against others. Their successes made me feel like a failure, even when I had things to be proud of. This line taught me that joy isn't found in being better. It's found in being present, grateful, and enough just as you are. I started focusing on my own pace, and suddenly the pressure eased. Quote 2. Fall in love with the process, and the results will come. Eric Thomas. I used to chase goals, but I never truly enjoyed the journey. Everything felt like a means to an end, one that was always just out of reach. This quote helped me shift my mindset. I began finding meaning in the effort itself, in the writing, in the learning, in the trying. Progress wasn't about fast results anymore. It was about showing up. Over time, my work improved, not because I chased outcomes, but because I honored the process. Quote 3. You cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. Unknown. This was the hardest truth. It meant leaving behind comfort, friendships that drained me, routines that numbed me, and even jobs that paid well but robbed my spirit. I began creating space for quiet, for boundaries, for growth. Healing started when I stopped forcing myself to fit into spaces that were never meant for me. One night, after a long, tearful conversation with myself in the mirror, I sat down and wrote those 3 quotes in my journal, in bold, underlined ink. I realized they weren't just inspiring phrases anymore. They were mirrors, confronting me with what I had avoided. That night, I made a decision to stop living on autopilot, to leave the job I dreaded, and to choose discomfort over dullness. It was terrifying, but it was also the first moment I felt alive in a long time. Not because everything was fixed, but because I had chosen to start again, on my own terms. Those 3 quotes didn't magically solve my problems, but they cracked open the walls I'd built around myself. They became quiet companions, reminders to stop comparing, to love the process, and to protect my healing. Since then, my life hasn't been perfect, but it has been real. I've made mistakes, taken leaps, and finally started becoming someone I'm proud of. If there's one lesson I've learned, it's this. Profound change often begins with small truths, whispered by someone else, but spoken into the part of you that's been waiting to listen. What quote has shaped your life the most? Take a moment, reflect, and write it down. Keep it where you'll see it often, on your desk, your phone, your mirror. Then share it with someone who might need it too. You never know whose life you might change with just a few honest words.